Hey loves, welcome back to TigeraGitana. My name is Abby and today we're going to do something that I've never done on my channel before, which is a get ready with me video. And I wanted to do this just because I was trying to figure out a way to start incorporating some new topics into my channel. So I was like, okay, so maybe I'll turn my get ready with me videos into kind of like a controversial topic within the spiritual community. So this is going to be the first in the series, and I'm excited to kind of, coat through the motions, play with some makeup, and, also chats. So we're going to get started actually, and the topic for this conversation, I would say it's very much one that is going to be controversial on my channel, especially because right off the bat it can seem like it's, a little bit on the aggressive. I can't even say it. Like, it seems like a little bit aggressive, or like, especially because everything tends to be like super love and light. Also, I'll stop and show you guys which products I'm using as I'm using it. So the first thing I'm going to use is the Wet n Wild Dewy Luminex primer. So first thing I'm going to put on my face. And so yeah, so this tends to be a little bit on the controversial side because of just the content of it, but I'm gonna kind of go over the topic in a different way, just because I feel like I have a story related to this that I recently kind of experienced at work. So I'm gonna tell it as a story, and we're just gonna talk about the topic. And if you want to add anything else to it, you may. As far as in the comments, you can also add more stuff to it. So I was at work quite recently, and I think I'm going to use a foundation brush for this. I was at work quite recently, and ooh, this is really soft. And one of the guys at work, he's very spiritual, and we were connecting on a Kemetic level. Kemetic being on an ancient Egyptian level, for those who don't know what Kemetic is. So we were talking about that, and it was really interesting because I need a little bit more. It was really interesting because we ended up getting into a discussion very quickly, because I feel like once you kind of start talking about spirituality with people of color specifically, a lot of the time it goes straight into a lot of the differences within the community, and different cultures in the community, different races in the community, especially because we are people of color. So how that affects us as a collective, and how and continue to impact the masses as a whole, how is expanding right now, which is has like our generation, my generation specifically, has been pretty much magnifying spirituality. There's actually if you look at it statistically, there is a decline in my generation going to church versus us actually being more spiritual and just spiritual leaning. And I'm not really surprised that that's a thing, because I feel like when it comes to my generation, we're a lot more open to the understanding and the I want to say our history, our culture. However, there is a kind of, I guess, a group of individuals who kind of have a reputation within the culture period, but also also within spirituality. And that group of people, which you would all kind of know by now, I'm also going to be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, the Dewy Luminex one, and I am in Desert Beige. That's my color. And I'm going to put it in the back of my hand. Actually, no, I'm just going to put some on. And I usually don't like wearing foundation like that, but this foundation is actually really light, and it's not that heavy or anything like that. It's super light. Okay, so yeah, so we kind of, you know, we're talking about spirituality. I was at work and use my sponge, and we kind of started talking about culture, and we got into the topic that, you know, tends to be a very polarizing topic within the community, which was, what is it that that specific group of individuals needs? And by this time, if you have not figured out which group of individuals I'm talking about, you should have figured it out by now, because I'm talking about collectively white people who are spiritually leaning. And the reason why this topic was really interesting, I guess, at work to have is because, one, I was talking to Gemini. Two, yeah, no, I have a Gemini moon. And it's always really interesting when I'm talking to Geminis, because I appreciate, even though he had a different opinion than me, I appreciate their opinion, period, because I feel like they do have dual opinions. That's what intrigues me about people who are Geminis. Sometimes, yes, they do lean into one aspect of right and wrong, but one of their abilities is that they can really see the duality of the two things. Like, for example, I'll give you an example for this from me. A while back, when Kanye said the very ignorant things that he said about, you know, slavery and all that, I understood what he was trying to say. Okay, that's what I mean by like the dual thing. And he also is a Gemini, so I understood what he was trying to say. However, I don't think he said it correctly. I also don't think that, again, I feel like some Geminis do have like a, okay, this is my opinion thing, but there's also that dual opinion where he actually went back and was like, okay, well, that's not what I was trying to say, type of thing. However, I understood what he was trying to say. Should he have said it? No. Did he have a point? In a way, yes. There's some aspects of what he's saying that is correct. However, I feel like for who he is, his status, and all of these different things, he didn't need to do all that. Okay, he didn't need to say that. That was not necessary. He should have been uplifting, and that's not what he did. So it was just like a kind of like a hot mess. Also, for those who are curious, I have normal skin, so I don't need a matte foundation. That's why I picked a dewy one, and this foundation is actually really good on my skin. I just noticed. I'm not mad about it. Anyway, so continuing on with this conversation. So we got into this conversation, and one of my points, we started kind of getting into the theft within the spiritual community, and this is when things get a little bit in the yes and this and that and appropriation and this and that, and then taking so many things. I'm pretty sure that collectively we can come up with a list of things that people have taken from the community, have appropriated, and all of these different things. In the spiritual community, you can also very well create a list of things that they have taken. Off the top of my head, sage, for example, as far as like ritually being used and such and such and such, and it's very whitewashed, and there's a reason why that word exists, to be honest, because it does highlight the less concentration of the potency of the topic at hand. When something is whitewashed, it is not as powerful as it would have been used if it's used the way it was meant to be used. So it is very much a annoying thing that occurs. I'm also going to be using the Wet n Wild light to medium beige concealer, the photo focus one. And I'm not going to use a lot of it because I don't like concealer like that. I don't like wearing like a lot of makeup. I don't really need it, to be honest. To be quite honest, I don't really need it. But I figured we would start a new thing. Plus, Bae bought me a whole bunch of makeup from Fenty for my birthday, which I did ask for, but still, she bought me a bunch of makeup. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just start wearing it because I mean I don't want to go to waste, and because I want to support Rihanna because she's been killing it. So anyway, back to the topic. I'm sorry I keep going out of, you know, I should be using a mirror. I don't know why I'm using y'all as a mirror. Jeez. Anyway, so what ended up happening was that his argument was, okay, I'm gonna give you his argument. His argument was that okay, no, you know what, I'm gonna give you my argument and then I'm gonna give you his argument, and I'm gonna tell you why I think I'm still right, because that was also a big problem with the conversation. So his argument was that they are not evolved. Well, no, I'm sorry. My argument was that I feel like if there was something on the spiritual scale that I feel like should be stolen from the indigenous people of color community by them, it should be ancestor work. Okay? And my reasoning for this is because ancestor work heals a lot of trauma. It heals a lot of trauma within the family line. It heals a lot of things generationally. It heals a lot of things as far as like, especially because I do a lot of work with the Akashic records. I understand the concept of past lives. When it comes to the Akashic records, actually, if you want that tea, the Lords of the Records don't care about, not that they lean on a preference, but they don't put a lot of emphasis on races within the records. The Akashic records are the library of souls, so you go up there to see your soul, to understand different things that has happened to your soul, different traumas that you've experienced. You do a lot of healing work through the records. They don't really, it's no black and white world. There is no hierarchy within the record. White people are not kept in a separate library. That's not how it works, because, and this is the big one that you need to pay attention to, specifically when looking at appropriation and spirituality. You may have been born black in this lifetime, or of color in this lifetime, but you could have very well been a white person in a past lifetime, which has happened. There's a lot of people that have read their past life reading too, who are white in this lifetime, but were born in Africa and raised in different countries in Africa in their past lives, and they had things to heal from those past lives as well. So it is not exclusive or mutually exclusive. Like, they don't see it as, you know, just because in this lifetime you're this color and you're going through these 6 things that you are conflicted in this way in the records. No, the records hold your soul's information, your trauma, and it's a library. That's what it is. So they don't really have a preference as far as this type of thing goes. And because I understand that myself as a healer, as someone who does this work, as someone who understands on the metaphysical side, and also as someone who's, one of my past lives was I was a high priestess in Egypt in one of my very ancient past lives. My soul goes very, very deep. And one of my past lives was to be a teacher and to hold that kind of stature. So I understand the mysteries in a way where it's not just black and white, and where it's not just us versus them type of thing. Even though in this lifetime certain people have basically declared separation and hierarchy within themselves, within the community. So it's like difficult. I understand, again, don't forget I have Gemini moon. I understand both sides. But at the same time, when you're looking at it from a spiritual level, again, you may have been born in this lifetime, but in the next lifetime, or in your past lifetime, you could have been born Chinese, you could have been born Native American, you could have been born somewhere in Africa. Like, you could have been born in India. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So the reason why I'm seeing it more through a healing scope of, okay, I feel like they need to focus. I feel like if there was one thing from all of the things that community itself has stolen from people of color throughout years and years, it should be ancestor work. I wish that was the one thing that was stolen, and I'm going to tell you why. Well, I already kind of told you why a little bit, but the main point is, when you do answer, oh, by the way, I'm going to start using, this is like a sample from Fenty Beauty. Is, ooh, it's just a mirror. Oh, it's looking cute. But this is the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder in Honey. Okay, it's not focusing, so I can't help you. So that's why I can see it both sides. I feel like, I think it's wrong to kind of just not give a solution when talking about this topic, because again, I feel like I've had this argument with multiple people, and all at the end of the day, all they can do is get mad, and not really finding a solution at all. Like, it just feels very, I just want to stay mad, I just this and that, and I just want to stay mad, or I just like, no, let me just separate it, or like there's always not a solution set in place. So when I was talking this about him, I was like, listen, I feel like the solution to that is ancestor work. And the reason why is because I personally feel like, if you look at what has been stolen within the spiritual community, it has been things that makes them feel good. And you cannot lie about this. When it comes to, if you actually write down the list of things, if you just start writing it down, or you Google online what has been appropriated spiritually by white people, you will see things mainly that makes people feel good in nature. For example, yoga is one of them. And what does yoga do? It makes your body feel good. Sage, for another example, what does it do? It cleanses the negativity in the spaces, in the rooms. It definitely does other things, but that's one of the main components of what it does. So all of those things make you feel good. So if you're looking at how they behave on a spiritual level, as a people collectively, you start kind of noticing that all they really want to do is feel good. So, ooh, it's getting powdery up in here. All they really want to do is feel good, right? And of course, who doesn't want to feel good? Let's just, if you're talking about spiritual work right there, it literally just says, hey, they just want to do work that makes them feel good. They just want to do work and have solutions that create results that are just feel good, like money spells and love spells, and just like a certain specific niche of something. Meditation, for example, meditation makes you feel good. You feel relaxed. You feel like you're more at peace with yourself. You feel less clouded. You feel like you can kind of get, you're like, your day feels different. Like, you feel a little more energized, more connected with your soul itself. You know what I mean? There's something about what they have chosen to take from our knowledge, from our mysteries, as people of color. And if you look at it all, it's things that make them feel good. So that's why I think that ancestor work should be stolen by them. Because one, not only does it make you feel good, because it does make you feel more connected to family, but historically speaking, they don't pick things that address their trauma, because trauma tends to be very heavy, tends to be very complex. Generational trauma is a big one. But when you're born into these families, these different types of families, I'm not saying all of them are like wealthy or can have a bigger impact on the world. However, white privilege is also a thing, so it's different. When you're able to address when you're born into a family and you're able to kind of address the generational trauma that has been passed down through that family line, even if in your past life you were a different of a color, you still have the opportunity to address the healing within that family, so that lineage, that blood doesn't get, you know, damaged. It doesn't continue to be tainted. It doesn't continue to carry a negativity, negative energy, negative light, and that shit doesn't spread. Okay, and that's really the essence of the message that I'm giving you today, and why I personally will argue that the one thing that they should be stealing from us is ancestor work. Throughout so many cultures, so many countries, people of color give honor and give space and hold space for the ancestors. It's one of my favorite moments from watching Black Panther, which I knew was going to be like a very dismissed thing by that specific group of people, was every time the words ancestors came up, and it was just like in a speech form, it was very beautiful and very like, it was just a moment, because the second she started speaking, I remember it was what's her name? Oh my god, what's her name? It was the mother, and she was also in American Horror Story. What is her name? Oh my god, I'm so mad that I'm forgetting her name, because she's one of my favorite actresses. But the second she started speaking, like, oh, we give thanks to the ancestors, I felt that in my bones, and I was just like, wow, that's being mentioned in this movie. They're just talking about the ancestors right now. Like, I just thought that was so cool. And I was really like impressed by how they didn't water that down, or they didn't, you know, I just love that they included that in there. Like, I just felt the love, and I feel like the ancestors collectively just felt the love from that moment. And if you look at culturally, the civilizations, every single one that has come from people of color, we have held space for the ancestors in a way where having that connection with them led to us having very prosperous connections with the divine, with what we believe in, and also with our family line, and with that healing and carrying that legacy, getting that guidance, and healing that generational trauma, as far as maintaining that that's not existing and not being a thing. Now that's so much of a thing, because we're born into all these families that have all these issues, that now we're just like, okay, this is just running in my family, what do I do? You know, it's not necessarily your fault that you're born into this family, but at the same time you have to address it. So it's a little bit, it can be annoying. It definitely can be annoying. So that's why I said that they should steal ancestor work from us. And if you look historically at every single religion that has come from their side, even religions that have been stolen, they don't do ancestor work. They just do what makes them feel good. And a lot of the time, because they have been more based in rules and structure, you can even see the way Christianity has been used to ignore different parts of healing and just control the masses in different ways. So it's been kind of like this ignorance run throughout time and space. They picked and choose what it is that they wanted from our religious beliefs and stripped it down, picked their favorites, used it to control, and then ran away from the trauma. And then so we keep dying and coming back and being reborn into these different families that just carry all this damn trauma, because nobody heals it, because they don't know how to do it. And that's what I'm saying. Y'all need to do ancestor work. I really wish, out of all things, that that's the thing that gets stolen from us. because we do a lot of really good things, but ancestor work not only makes us feel good, but it also does so much. It also does so much, and I feel like people just sleep on it. And it's just like, listen, out of all the things like that you need to do spiritually, protection work is one of them, ancestor work is one of them as well. Like, I recommend it to pretty much everybody that I talk to. I'm like, are you doing ancestor work? It's one of my main questions. And I feel like they run away from that. And I also feel like with what's been happening with our communities, the world, and spiritually, what has been taken from the people of colors, different complexes, communities, and cultures. When you look at, like, for example, like yoga, as an example of things that have been taken, it's really not surprising, because what else can you do? What else can you become? You know, I feel like they've been collectively as a people, as even though they have, you know, different countries, different cultures, but not, you know, there's a lot of people that give the argument that they don't have a culture. I personally, and I feel like that's why I honestly feel like there's a higher percentage of people who are atheists who are also white. I haven't Googled it, but I kind of feel like that's a thing, because if you look at culturally, the rest of us, we are hold on, I had to tickle my throat. We are like very much in belief for something, and we are connected to source in a different way. We're like, it's just more like, I feel like I feel like we understand so much, and we have taken so much from our ancestors and from our elders, like growing up, where there's almost like a deeper understanding from us, and I feel like they've been searching for something. And I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, with the example that I gave, because it's a very real example, if you in a past life were born as a person of color, in this past life, in this lifetime you were born as a non-person of color, then you are very much like a little bit lost. You do feel connected to different things, which if you take from in a different way, you will be seen as appropriation and all these different things. But you do kind of get called to different aspects, because you, in how you grow up, is not necessarily culturally thriving on a spiritual level where you feel like you're connected to something. It's usually like, yeah, you're born into privilege and all of this power and stuff, but are you really in power when your soul is still searching for something specifically to be connected to? Where you look at all the other cultures, and you're like, oh, I'm trying to find myself in all of these different things, and oh my god, look, I tried this today, it made me feel good. I tried meditating today, it made me feel good. I just, like, my spirit feels good, I'm feeling better. Like, oh my god, those moments are very, very important, because it shows you the healing that you need to do in this lifetime, because of what hasn't been done within those lifetimes with that specific group of people. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying, or what I'm trying to say. But continuing on, so I guess I'm gonna get started on my eyes, okay? And I'm gonna be using Fenty's Pro Filter Amplifying Eye Primer, which is amazing, by the way. I like love this eye primer. And I also have like Urban Decay's primer potion, but this one's, it's just a little harder. This one's super soft. It's like very, very soft. It just glides on. It's really soft. It's just really nice. So continuing with this conversation, his argument Okay, for those who clicked on this video to just be mad at my argument and like, oh my god, what are you saying, what are you trying to say, what you mean, all of these things, but I'm about to drop his argument at y'all so y'all could be like, okay. His argument was, hold on. His argument was that white people are not evolved enough to even have gotten to that logic that they need to do ancestor work. He thinks that, and mind you, this is why I called it a no solution thing, because it was just very much like, it's very dismissive. It's just kind of like telling someone who's searching for something or who's looking for an answer, or like, let's say you're a professor and they're in your expertise in something and somebody comes to ask you something that's in your expertise and you're just like, no. It's short answer, bye. And it's just like not actually giving somebody a reason. That's basically what his answer was, and it was just very annoying. Like, the whole argument, like, I was trying not to be super annoyed by it, but I was just like, what? But his argument was that he doesn't think that they're evolved enough. Mind you, he doesn't do work on the Akashic record, so he, when understanding on that level, he doesn't think that they're evolved enough, and he also doesn't think that they'll choose that. I do agree with that a little bit. I don't necessarily agree. I'm going to be using the Moroccan Spice palette by Fenty. I do agree to an extent that I don't think people will choose that, because again, historically speaking, there is a history of just wanting to feel good. I am aware of the wanting to feel good. Shoot, I want to feel good. You want to feel good. Everybody wants to feel good. However, there's still work that needs to be done. So, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, we still all have to do this work. And the work may not be easy, but it's necessary. And I feel like this is one of the ways that we all heal each other, heal our collective consciousness, heal each other as a society. And it starts with the family. It starts by doing the ancestor work. It starts with doing generational trauma work. It starts with that collectively. So, which color am I gonna pick first? Ayo. I think I'm gonna pick, what is this one? No, that's not. We could do Spice Strip. Where I'm gonna pick this one right here, which is called Spice Strip. I love how big this mirror is. So yeah, so his argument concluded with, they're not evolved enough to even understand or, you know, comprehend that the importance of ancestor work. Like, they're not gonna want to choose that. They're not gonna want to pick that. To which I said, yeah, but you're not giving a solution. You're just saying that they're not evolved enough, or they're not going to choose that. So what is your solution? And he couldn't give me an answer. And that's because, don't get mad at me for saying this, but it's true. Some of y'all just like complaining, okay? Some of y'all just like complaining and don't like finding solutions. Finding solutions is something that I feel like is necessary, especially because I like to discuss, I like to debate. I'm a very, like, you know, my Gemini moon, my Venus in Aquarius, like, we're trying to get to the solution. We're trying to find futuristic solutions. We're trying to get down to the gritty. We're trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So, like, even as a Capricorn, like, if the goal is to have a conversation about a topic, then the goal is going to be to conclude it in a very amicable way where we're all like, okay, you know what? This was a good, you know, meeting over, meeting adjourned. We're going to continue. We're going to move forward like this. Okay? That's why I feel like he was just kind of like being dismissive and not trying to find a collective solution, because it is a very beautiful thing to, you know, kind of come back to your culture if you have just been kind of awakening yourself and exploring your past and with your elders and stuff like that, which he has been doing, which is a very beautiful thing, which I don't disagree with. However, I don't think that we should completely dismiss what everybody else needs as a collective. And one of the things that he very ignorantly said, which I thought was super annoying, was that he kind of made me define what power is. Okay. And I asked him, what do you mean by what power is? Because at the end of the day, power mainly, to me, means that you have the ability to affect change. Okay? That is what power is to me. When you have power, you can make things happen. That's like when your phone is charged, it has power, so you can use it for things. Okay, it can seem a very black and white, but it's factual. And when you look at us as a society as a whole, as far as who has power, and I've talked about this in a previous video, they tend to have more power in the way that affects the masses. Do they have more power when it comes to on a spiritual level? That is arguable, which I also stated is arguable because, again, we are usually who they turn to like mirror and kind of try to figure out how they're going to use their power by understanding how we use ours. So it's a very complex topic, but if you're looking at power at the end of the day, since they do have the power and the ability to affect the planet and the people, the planet and the earth, the planet being a big one for me, a huge one for me, like out of a lot of things, the planet is one of the things that I really hate some people for destroying and passing laws and regulations to just end the world for no reason. It's like one of my huge pet peeves. I feel like it's hard, but it's true. They are in power. They don't have all of it, but they do have power enough to affect all of us. His argument was, on a more personal level, that he has the most power because he understands that nobody's going to take his power. Mind you, that wasn't even the argument, but he just wanted to make that point, but it's fine. That he has power because nobody's going to take his power from him, and he is more powerful, and he listed reasons why he's more powerful than them and all of these different things. And I was like, yep, at the end of the day, they're still fucking up the world though. So that means that if you can be, you, Mr. Powerful, cannot be changing the regulations to affect this change, then therefore, when it comes to the technicalities of power, even though, yes, I collectively as a community, as a people, yes, we do have a lot of power, we have a lot of influence, they do take a lot from us, you are still not socially as powerful because you have not created an impact. And then it turned into this whole back and forth of like, wait, you're wrong, who's right, all this stuff. And it was just like, yeah, but that's my opinion. I'm like, opinions can be wrong because facts are still a thing. I told you I like debating, so don't come for me. Anyway, the point was of that whole conversation, and this of basically kind of bringing up the topic of ancestor work in different communities and why it's not really a big thing. If you look a lot of the religions that they partake in, there isn't a lot of ancestor work or ancestor worship or ancestor veneration within those communities. There's a lot of kind of other worship and worshiping different gods and goddesses, which nobody is saying is wrong. Hear me out. Nobody is saying it's wrong. However, when you don't focus on yourself and when you don't hold the mirror to yourself and you're always just using religion and using different spiritual practices to just make yourself happy and you're not actually holding the mirror that society really needs you to hold because there's shit that you need to heal, you are technically are, you know, you are technically not adding anything good by the practice that you're doing to the rest of us. So it becomes this kind of nonsensical like thing that you're just doing to make yourself feel good, but at some point you run out of that juice, and then you want to get tapped up and you want to get more, and then again, where do you look for to learn more? Where do you look for more to like kind of integrate something else? Because it's like something is always going to be missing in this lifetime. What is it? Why can't you reach it? It's because a lot of y'all don't want to look into the darker aspects of what it is that you need to learn and heal. And some of y'all were born into the, and I'm going to tell y'all, some of y'all were born into these families that do all this nonsense, because some of y'all, okay, need to heal those families. Maybe you were born in your past life, maybe you were just like a boss, or you just like, you were in control, and you just did so much stuff that in this lifetime your soul's goal is to take that out, that essence of your soul and who you are, and bring that of yourself into this. And you are discovering that as you go along through life, and if you don't take on that challenge, you're never going to be your best self. I'm just saying. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm using, so really cute story about this palette while I was trying to figure out which one to get. I got 3 and I got 5, which are hilarious because I'm big with numerology. So yes, this is the Legua and this is Oshun, okay? And also when you put it together, it's 8, which is also my birthday number. So it is a very special palette. But this one is, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out which one I'm using. This one is High Pumpkin. Talking about Oshun. Yeah, it's High Pumpkin. I love this palette. It's just so easy to use, and it's tiny, like it's hand grabby, and it's just so easy to use. So I love it. And it's just so pretty. The colors are just amazing. Like, it's just so pretty. So anyway, I know I've kind of been ranting on, you know, on my own a little bit, and eventually we'll do lives and we'll have these kind of discussions and topics and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that I'm completely right in everything that I've said, because I do like debating. I like to be challenged. Like, I love that aspect. But I do want to know your thoughts on what the main point was, because again, my point is that they need to do it for the healing. That is my point. If you, and you know what, I challenge you in the comments to find a solution to what it is that they should steal from us. What do you think that they should be doing better? Write me a list. We could even talk about it, go over the list later on in a different video if y'all would like to. But write me a list. What do you think the white people need to actually be doing? What do they need to do better? What is it that they need to integrate? What is it that they need to collectively be more responsible for? Because that's another thing. As far as collectively speaking, they don't like taking responsibilities for, again, a lot of generational shit that has been passed down within the families. Like, they just don't. Like, a lot of them like to just be like, no, but it wasn't me. Like, this is the like non-quote-unquote woke ones. No, but I didn't do that in the past. That was my ancestors. I don't know why I need to be pinned like a like all of these things that they say. Like, it baffles me sometimes, because I'm like, bruh, you don't need to be an ass. We're just telling you why this is an A, B, and C, and D that you don't understand because you didn't grow up in it. However, because of these, we grew up in this way. So it really is a very complicated topic, but I just thought I would share it with you guys and get your opinions and kind of start off, you know, the Get Ready With Me videos in you know, it with a fun kind of controversial topic, which I know it's going to be controversial because there's a lot of different people that follow me on YouTube, and I'm never going to be one of those, because I don't hate white people. That's not a thing for me. It's never been a thing for me, but I feel like there is some, like, I don't have, how do I explain it? I don't have like that prejudice against them where I'm just like always hating them. However, I do have my moments, especially like being at work and different things, that I'm just like, okay, you just being mad entitled right now, or you're just like where the commentary in my head is just actively like, okay, this is like, why are you doing this right now? Like, I'm just questioning all of these things that they do, because it's just right in my face and it's annoying, but I'm pretty sure everybody does that. But I also don't, for no reason, not like them, or not like go about my way to be like or like, you know, all of this stuff. Like, I don't have that in my heart. Like, I've never had the patience to be like, if I don't like you, you have to give me like a reason not to, you know. This is kind of my thing. And yes, they've done a lot of shit throughout history, and I mean, do we need to get started? But at the same time, I'm not gonna hold, there's some people that I'm not gonna hold to that standard. But I will say, if you're coming into the spiritual community and you're gonna want to be part of these circles and coming to different events that you're gonna see a lot of people of color in, and those type of cultural events, or if you're trying to learn something, or you feel really connected to a specific thing, like maybe you're just really connected to like Native American spirituality, for example, and you're not a Native American, but you feel so connected to it. You never know. I mean, it could have just been I would say definitely get a past life reading, because you really, a lot of the time when you're really kind of actively fixated with a specific culture, is because you know, were, you know. So I would get a past life reading, because a lot of the times there is a deeper connection between your, you know, your current lifetime, that fixation, and the aspect in that community for whatever reason. I'm going to be using Socket to Me, which is this guy right here. And by the way, I love that she named this Moroccan Spice palette. Like, I love Morocco. I love Africa, period, to be honest. But I just love that this was kind of named after Morocco and Marrakesh, and that was just, you know, an inspiration for the palette. Like, I just love Rihanna. Like, she's killing it right now. Killing it. Anyway, so I hope that y'all understood what I was saying in this video. And definitely let me know what you loves think about this topic, because I'm very curious to see some of the reactions. And this is why I said from the get-go that this was going to be a controversial topic, because I knew some people were gonna, I knew off the bat that some people were gonna get like upset, or, you know, if you're not a person of color and you're getting mad at me for talking about this, you need to do some ancestor work, okay? And you also need to listen better, because I'm not against you by what I'm saying. I'm actually trying to help y'all. I'm trying to help y'all a lot by what I'm saying, but y'all needs to get it together. And y'all gets it together by doing the work that y'all need to do. But anyway, since I've pretty much finished telling y'all the story about that topic, I'm just going to be telling y'all about kind of like, I guess, a mini update with what I've been doing. I'm going to put this over here. And I'm really excited because I have a couple of things launching very soon. and a couple of events that I'm doing very soon. Also, I'm gonna be a Reiki master this year, which I'm really excited about, because a lot of you have emailed me. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Wet n Wild eyebrow pencil, professional eyebrow pencil with the whatchamacallit, and I believe this is the hazel one. Yeah, a lot of you guys have emailed me, messaged me, DM'd me, which, by the way, if I haven't checked your DM, is because I get a lot of them. You're just gonna have to give me, like, I'm gonna have to pick a day and go over my DMs because it's a hot mess in there. Sorry, when it comes to my brows, like, I just don't be talking. Just like, yeah, this year is gonna be crazy busy. Also, next month, it's my anniversary with Bay. I'm so excited. I'm like crazy excited. By the way, I am gonna clean this up, so just relax. I just like forgot to do my eyebrows, and I usually do it first, so I was like, let me just do it now. For whatchamacallit, it's our anniversary. We're gonna have an amazing time. We are going to be going to dinner at one of my favorite restaurants that I actually went to for my birthday a while back, and I've been dying to go back. Literally, I've been setting the intention to go back to this restaurant for like a hot minute because it's so romantic. It's an Egyptian restaurant. It's really beautiful. They have like, the way I found this restaurant is because a long time ago, like a couple of years ago, Giselle Bundchen, however you say her name because I always mess that up, she posted a video on her Instagram that she went to have dinner in New York and over there. And by the way, it's very bougie and expensive, but it was so cute because they had like these belly dancers and they had like melted wax on them and stuff, and I was just like, oh, I want to go. So I kind of told everybody for my birthday that that's where I wanted to go, so we went for my birthday, and it just looks so cute. Like the little couples booths look so cute because they have like the little tent and stuff, and I was just like, I need to come here with a boot. That's literally what I said. And so ever since then, I've been dying to go back and kind of like treat my girlfriend to a very romantic night out. And it's so funny because she has to work on our anniversary, so we're kind of forced to celebrate it on Valentine's Day, and she hates Valentine's Day because she's literally like, I love you every single day. And you know what, granted to her, she does show me every single day that she loves me. Like, this woman, I have literally the best relationship that I've ever had in my life. Literally, like I'm not messing around with y'all. Like, I have literally the best relationship I've ever wanted, ever had. Like, it does not go unnoticed. Every single day, this woman will text me throughout the day, randomly. And this happens to both of us because I'll do it too. And it'll just like, I'll be on my phone, or I'll be like about to post something, I'll just come out of the shower, I'll be cooking or whatever, and then you just see on my screen pop up, I love you. And it always just gives me the illest of butterflies because it's just like the cutest thing in the universe. But it'll just be like, I love you. And like, we're always loving each other. Always, like, always. And it's funny because recently, and I guess I'm gonna get personal with y'all, but recently, she's been like having these dreams that like I cheated on her or something, which is not gonna happen. Like, it's never gonna happen. That's just like impossible, honestly, quite honestly. But she's been having these dreams of like me cheating on her or whatever, and she's just like, oh my god, the other day we were in bed and like she just woke up and she's like, I don't think you were cheating on me. And I was just like, what, babe? What are you talking about? She's just like crying. She just like, she woke up and she like started crying, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? That's not gonna happen. Like, that's never happening in any universe, because that's not gonna happen. And as far as like dream interpretations goes, I know that she's just like afraid of losing me, especially because, you know, we're about to make a year and everything, and she hasn't had healthy relationships in the past, so I'm not really surprised. But she was just like really emotional and like, no, I'm not oh, I'm sorry, I'm like messing this up so bad, but I'm using this guy right here, which is okay, come and get it is up here, which means that it's 2 rows over. That's like how I figure out which one is which, because I figure like come and get it is like one of the transition shades that I be using, so like that's how I know. So then this one is Casablanca. Yep, it's Casablanca. I'm using Casablanca on my eye right now. Anyway, sorry. So she kind of, for a while, even last year, she was just like, there was this really cute moment where she was just like, what do you want from me? Like within the first two months of our relationship, I remember we were like eating and she just like wrote down like, what do you want from me? Everybody just uses me and stuff, and I'm just like, I just want to love you. Like, can I just love you? And she just gave me like this face. It was like so cute. And I know that, you know, because we have such a healthy relationship, it kind of really changes, you know, the structure and the healing that we've kind of done over the past year, because we have done a lot of healing, which is always a great thing to do with your partner. Sorry, I be trying to focus and then I stop talking randomly. It's like ridiculous. Redunculous. I still gotta blend this one out a little bit more. Anyway, so we've been great, and I love her so much, and I just feel like, and she's just like, again, she was afraid she was like losing me or something, and she gets really emotional about it. She's just like, no, like all these things, and I'm like, babe, I'm not going anywhere. I was never going anywhere. I've never cheated on anybody in my damn life, okay? And I told her all the time, like, why would I cheat on the love of my life? Like, I've never done it in my life, and I'm gonna pick the love of my life to do it. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm also not the type of person that falls for multiple people at the same time. I've never been that person, so it's just not gonna happen. That's better. Anyway, so with that said, I'm just taking Mirage, which is over here, this guy right here, and I'm just gonna put it underneath my eyebrow. That is such a pretty color. I love, oh my god, yo, Fenty has been killing the game. Completely killing the game. I'm still not over that they have like New York, as in that HBIC, Pollard doing like the holiday collections. Like, it's hilarious to me. Her marketing team is genius. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna do the Benefit Gimme Brow, because it's just really amazing. I love using this, whatever it's called. What is it? The volumizing fiber gel, brow volumizing fiber gel. That's what it's called. So yeah, so I'm taking her there for our anniversary, and I have the perfect dress for it, and I cannot wait because she's gonna have to dress up because we're going to a bougie place and Bae looks cute when she's dressed up. So seriously, it's just like a really great brow, what is it, I guess fiber gel, I don't know how to explain it as a product. It's like, it's a brow something. Continuing on with my face, because I guess we're gonna have to start doing the rest of it now. I'm gonna use the Fenty, this is the Sunstucker Instant Warmth Bronzer in Caramel Cutie. And I have a lot of the minis, if you didn't notice, because I honestly prefer minis. Like, if she made like every product in a mini, I would just be hyped. But I like the minis because I can do a lot with the minis. I don't wear as much makeup as some people do. I'm not throwing shade. A lot of people just, they wear way more makeup than I do. I also have like a thing about like it expiring in certain times, and I'm just like, I know I'm not gonna like be able to hit pan on some of these things, and the fact that some of these bronzers be like this big, I'm like, okay, no, just give me one of these. I'm gonna make it last. I swear, I don't need all that. Okay, eventually I'm gonna buy it, but I'm gonna buy the big one. But right now, I don't need all that. And you guys are gonna see that in my empties because there's one blush bronzer set that I had from Chanel that I use so much and I never hit pan on, and I'm just like, okay, but at this point it's expired, so I can't keep wearing it, and it was a limited edition, so I can't rebuy it, so it's just like, ugh. I really like this foundation, and it's funny because I'm not really a foundation girl, but this foundation was not bad. Like, I am not mad at it at all. So Bae has this natural like bronzy shadow right there with her cheeks that she has, like, naturally. It's like really obnoxious. I tell her all the time, I'm like, people spend money to have that, you have it naturally. It's like obnoxious. I also just forgot to do mascara, so I guess we're gonna do it now. Oh, so I'm being annoying right now. Oh my god, this whole thing has gone on for an hour. Can you believe? Okay, well, y'all gonna hear me talk for an hour. I'm being obnoxious because I'm gonna tell y'all the story and y'all gonna be like, okay. So January like 3rd or something, I placed an order on Sephora because they were doing their sale, and I wanted to buy some of the skincare from Kiehl's because it was like $22 minus an additional 20% off. So I was like, cute, I'm buying the set. I'm buying a set for Bae too because she needs her skincare stuff, and Kiehl's is Kiehl's. But then literally on my birthday, they announced the Fenty mascara, which I was like, within that order, I ordered my mascara, which was traditionally, my mascara has been the Smoking Extravagant by Makeup Forever, because that mascara is amazing. However, they announced the mascara by Fenty, and I've been waiting for them to announce it, and I bought it because I thought they weren't going to release it, and then they released it, and I was like, can you, anyway, so it's really big. I don't know if, like, with people's videos and stuff, I realize how big it is, or maybe it's because I don't buy full-size mascaras like this, but it's huge. Anyway, I'm not opening this because once you open it, you start the clock. I'm not starting the clock. You wanna know why? Because within that order that I made in January, I also redeemed the path. Hold on. I also redeemed the Path McGrath Labs Fetish Eyes Mascara, which is actually not bad. It's pretty good. However, the brush at the end, you see how it gets really, like, there's a lot of product in there. That's the only thing I don't like about it. However, I did go to Sephora and they had like these little tester things for the Fenty mascara. See? Because it has a pink brush and it says Fenty on. It says Fenty right here. Right there. Anyway, so they have these so you could try it on in the store. But I thought because I already opened this because I had to look cute on my birthday, that I would just take this out. Take this. And try on the brush because the formula is actually pretty good on this without having to open my brand new mascara because I just opened this one. So you know, you see, you gotta be smart. You gotta be smart. Okay, so let's get it nice and coated till you can't see pink no more. And I'm actually really excited to see how this is going to go. I know this is a different formula, but it'll be fine. Okay. Rock and Spice, you're too big for me. This is why I like this palette. I'm gonna buy 2 more of the palettes because they're that good, to be honest. I really want Cadet. Okay. So, flat to fat. Let's start with the flat side. Ooh. I like separated all of my lashes. Okay, and then the fat side. That's pretty amazing. You can't even tell I got lashes on right now. But that's pretty amazing. That is actually not bad. So in the video that Rihanna did, that's on her Instagram, like when she's demoing the mascara, she said about wiggling it underneath in your lower eyelash so you can kind of separate it without the product getting in your skin. What I usually do is I put it like this and then I just start kind of picking at it. And like kind of going sideways like that until it's pretty much done. This one is bomb. I mean, I haven't tried the formula yet, but until this one is gone, I'm not gonna open it because what is the point of having 2 open mascaras? Okay, that flat side is amazing. Okay, and then let's do it Rihanna's way. And that's pretty much how I like. I'm probably just gonna wash this and use it again later because know. So I'm gonna put it over here. But that actually worked out pretty well. I'm not mad about that. This mascara is not bad. It's pretty good too. Pat McGrath, I'm just getting into Pat McGrath because Pat McGrath is expensive. But you know what? She deserves her coins. I did want to like give her my shmonas as well, because she is also a woman of color. We're trying to support women of color beauty businesses right now. That's what we're doing. So in this episode of Abby being obnoxious, so today I went to Sephora because, well, first of all, I was on the app today because I was like, I just kind of, every other day here and there, I like to check out what it'd be in the 100 points category in the Beauty Bazaar, because homies be having nothing sometimes. And then sometimes they'll have like that one thing that you've been waiting for it to be like, you know, 100-point perk. And this kind of was one of them, enough that it's sold out on like on the app. I guess somebody bought the last one when I was like, it was in my cart. So I kind of called the store, my local Sephora, and I was like, hey, do you guys have this 100-point perk? Because it's not online no more. And they're like, yeah, we got 100. And I was like, okay, I'll be there soon. And then I kind of, you know, did my thing and got some errands done. But this is NARS. Orgasm. Yeah. They were having a 100-point perk of the NARS Orgasm, which is a famous blush. Okay. By NARS. Ooh, that's so fancy. It's just like, wow, more NARS. And it has a little cute little mirror. Oh my god. I'm sorry, that was just really cute. That was really cute. Okay, NARS. Anyway, so let me just get that plastic thingy off. So I actually got 2 of these because I know this is not gonna last me that long. Well, powder, but still, I mean, that's exactly what I thought about the, whatchamacallit, where is it? Oh my god. Oh, the Urban Decay, is it Lunge Shadow? This is like one of my favorite eyeshadows that they make, and this one was also like a sample a while back, and I still have it. I'm still using it, so I don't know if this might last me a while, but I still have a backup just in case. And I'm really excited because this is a very famous freaking blush, and I got it for pretty much free just for buying stuff at Sephora, which I always do because they do have things that I need, specifically like skincare stuff. I get at Sephora. Anyway, this is my first time. I'm sorry I keep saying anyway. This is my first time trying this blush, but I know it's just like a really famous one, so I'm kind of excited to see how it's gonna look on my face. So let's see. It's cute. And it has like this like shimmer to it, so it's like, it's really nice. Okay, I'm not mad about it. Especially because I'm kind of waiting also for Fenty to launch her blushes, even though some of the contour sticks can be used, and some of the eyeshadow, some of the kilowatts can be used as blush. I am waiting for her to launch her blush line. I'm waiting for her to finish launching everything, to be honest. That woman is just killing the game. I tried the fly liner today, and that baby, literally, it was like, I swatched a couple of them that I, you know, am interested in. It took like 3 makeup removers to remove it completely. Like, it's definitely water resistant, waterproof, water everything. Okay, I really like this blush. I really like this blush. Okay, that's good, because right now I got this from Sephora a while back. This is the Party Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush, and I've been using this one as a blush, but this one is like really hard to work with, and I have to like kind of build it up a little bit. But I got this like as my birthday whatever perk thing a while back, so that's what I've been using. But Jesus, this one is just like really just smooth. I'm not mad about it. It's been a great time playing with makeup. Okay, so I'm gonna do something really controversial now, because this is just how I put my makeup on. I know that some people rub you know, rub it in the hands and all that stuff. I don't do that with this. This is the Shimmer Stick crayon, the matchstick in cinnamon, and this is one of my favorite just highlighters that she does like that Fenty does, but I double up on it because I'm extra. So I kind of just smooth it out a little bit. Because it's cream and it just kind of smooths out. And then obnoxiously I take Hustler Baby, okay, which is this guy right here, and it gets so dusty with a fan brush, and then I kind of like load it up obnoxiously, because this whole thing is just obnoxiously, and I don't do this, I just go like this if that makes any sense. So I just kind of go like this, and you see what I did there? That's how I do that, because I don't have, you know how Fenty has the cheek hugging brush? That's how you get this to do the similar kind of thing to it, and it just kind of does the thing that I needed to do right there. Okay, that's my trick for that. Do I want that brush though? Yes, even though it's like what, $35 or something, I still want it because it just is so soft. I want all of Fenty's brushes, to be honest, but until then, whoop. You see what I did there? I'm not that crazy. I'm a little crazy, but I'm not that crazy. But I hope you loves have enjoyed this get ready with me, even though I'm definitely not going anywhere. I'm definitely not going anywhere tonight, but I was just bored and I want to play with makeup, and I've been playing around with this palette a lot, which has been fun. Even though there's some colors that I haven't used yet, I did want to just play around with it a little bit and see what, you know, we wanted to create with it. So that's why that had to happen. And for lips, that's a great question. I do have Underdog by Fenty, but I don't know if that's gonna be too bold. It's definitely gonna take this look to the nighttime. So let's do, I kind of want to keep it simple, to be honest. I wish I had, I need to go back to Chanel and buy my Mademoiselle lipstick. That's one of my favorite lipsticks by Chanel. But I run out of it, and I'm so mad because I love it so much. Well, I guess we could do this one. Okay, this one is, wait, one has an ashier kind of undertone. We're gonna go with the ashier undertone because I want it to be more neutral, but this is Sanctuary by Kat Von D, which I'm really looking to finish using all her liquid lipsticks because I want to switch over to Rihanna's liquid lipsticks because she has a way better formula. Even though Kat Von D has a good formula, it's still a little drying in comparison. I feel like I need a gloss, but my gloss is all the way over there, and I'm not getting up for that. So, especially because I'm not going anywhere anyways. So, this is gonna be the final look unless I put a little bit of another color onto it. What if I make it more red? I do love like doing the ombre lip a lot. Especially because ever since I saw Kevin do the tutorial on it, I was just like, oh, this is brilliant. So I do it quite often. I'm gonna be using, one of my friends gave me this. This is the Ultra Matte Ellery X Colourpop in Sassy. But am I sassy or am I sexy? Which one is it? I need to know. The people need to know. So I'm just gonna mess around with this one. This one I know is very red tinted, so it's like, so I know it's gonna change the tone a little bit. But it's like stainy. That's like the only not necessarily good thing about it. It can be very stainy really quick. So I'm gonna take Sanctuary again. Just to kind of mute it down a little bit. And then I just have to clean the edges basically. Like right here. Which I'm gonna do with my clean hand. And that was basically the final look of the night. So I hope y'all enjoyed this Get Ready With Me. Even though I'm not going anywhere, but I promise maybe the next time I will. Ooh, maybe I could do the next Get Ready With Me for Valentine's Day. We could do that. We could do like a nice romantic look or whatever. And see what we're gonna do. But yeah, that's pretty much the final look for it. Ooh, you see? You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying with this highlight? Every time I be catching myself in the mirror, I'll be like, ooh, Fenty. I'm just mad extra. So yeah, I hope that y'all learned something, possibly, from this conversation, the previous conversation, because it's like 1,000 of makeup tutorials on YouTube, so it bees what it bees. Oh, I forgot to do the whole setting spray thing that everybody just loves to do on camera. It's a lot. And that was it. And I will see you in the next video. For my patrons, there's gonna be more videos coming tonight, which I'm excited about. And I'm going to be posting the class tomorrow that we're gonna be doing, which is gonna be continuation of Clear Development. So we will be continuing on with that. And I'm gonna be posting the poll for the monthly community spell work, which is gonna be next month, and I'm very excited about it. The question is, should I do a love spell or love spell related? That's gonna be my thing with the poll that I'm about to post, but they're the only ones I get to vote, so I don't even know why I'm telling you this anyway. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. I got cute for y'all today, so y'all can't complain. There's definitely more videos coming, but I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you want to give me more topics for the next video for the conversation, post it below so we can discuss different topics in the spiritual community, controversial, non-controversial topics. You can talk about whatever, in the not teaching kind of format, because I know like I mainly, you know, help you guys and do like a lot of that stuff But yeah, let me know. Also, the videos for the monthly chakra healing videos are going to be rolling out soon as well, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you all to my new subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next video.